It was a night of defiance in Bridgwater, where farmers rallied against the proposed changes to inheritance tax. Their message was loud and clear: without farmers, there's no food. For 12 hours in biting overnight temperatures, over 50 tractors blockaded the Morrisons distribution centre at Willow Green, a major hub supplying 80 stores across the southwest. The protest wasn't just about disrupting supply chains, it was about safeguarding the future of British farming. Let's set the scene. Friday night, 8 p.m, the entrance to Willow Green is blocked. Tractors line the roads. Farmers young and old brave the freezing temperatures. Among them, Paul Godden from Glastonbury, one of the event's organisers.
Well, we need to do something to show the country that if there's no farmers, there's no food. So if we can prove a point by blockading Morrisons today, other ones will come. And if we can do that, it will show the public and Starmer that there's no food in the supermarkets because we won't have any farms to do anything with, to grow food. Me and Martin, who have helped organise this, along with Julian, who's next to me in his tractor, we are chuffed to bits with the turnout. We didn't expect this many, but we are so pleased we did.
Just what's the strength of feeling like within the farming community at the moment?
It's just awful. It's hard to put it into words. And when I sat out of Parliament, when I drove up in this tractor, and I sat outside of Parliament, I had two Lords, two peers and an MP, and I said to them, I lost my leg for this industry, and I am not going to let Starmer take it away. I said I am not going to give in to Starmer, because this is the industry I love, and my 16-year-old nephew, he wants to go into it, and their family farm, if this all comes, they will not have a farm at home. They will lose their family farm.
The blockade wasn't the first. Farmers like Paul have been fighting to be heard for years, but this time it's personal. For many, this protest is about survival. The Labour Party's proposal to extend inheritance tax to family farms worth over $1 million could spell the end of generational farming. Neil Parish, a farmer and former MP for Tiverton and Honiton, spoke to us about what brought him out on the night.
Farming families feel like they're just being put out of business and they're being persecuted, and I'm just, sorry that they have to be out here. But because Morrisons is not a bad company, but on the other hand, we've got to show the strength, and I think the strength of feeling here with all these tractors is amazing. And what is good is that the farmers themselves are all younger, and they are, there's a lot of comradeship here, and I think people are really feeling that they have got to make their presence felt, and I'm delighted to see so many out here.
Neil wasn't alone in his concerns. Fourth-generation farmer Rob Coram from North Newton shared his perspective on the government's approach to farming.
We need food security. I don't agree with inheritance tax, and we just need to keep producing food in this country, and the way the government are pushing us, they don't want us to produce food, it seems. They don't want farmers. Well, we're not going to lie down that easy. When a run-of-the-mill farmhouse now is valued, most of them are, because of the housing prices, they're sort of £750,000. How do you expect a small farm, not to have to pay a big chunk of inheritance tax? It's not realistic.
The blockade wasn't just about today's farmers, it was about the next generation. Simon Carey, a farmer from Mark, brought his two sons, Brooks and Charlie, to the protest.
There's nothing in it. I honestly don't think we can't pay it. There is no way of paying it without selling land, selling assets, and you can't farm without the land or the assets, because there's no other money to come out of it other than land and assets, and if you don't have either of them, we can't farm.
And what's the morale like within the future of farming within your generation?
Well, there's lots of people that want to do it, and I think there'll be lots of people not happy about not being able to do it if it goes any further. And it's a shame that it's come to this. And we don't want to be like this. We just, we want to be able to let the younger ones farm, let us have a go and feed our country.
For Simon, hearing his son speak so grimly about their future was heartbreaking.
Been beef and sheep farming for 20 years. Just got into dairy farming 2 years ago. Got 3 sons. One's at home doing the work. The other 2 are here. There's no future in the job, is there? We bought a dairy farm for my 3 sons to go farming, and all of a sudden there's no future in it. There's no money in it. I've spent my whole life putting them into an industry that they love to do, and now it's all going to be thrown away, isn't it? I think it is. They won't be farming. You asked the question just now, what's it going to be like when they're 55, mid-50s like me? They won't be here. There won't be a British farmer stood in his own right.
This protest was part of a larger movement. Farmers from across the UK are uniting to resist policies that see an existential threat. Tom Goodall, a contractor from Bleedon, explained why he joined the blockade.
We're a local contractor. We've got a lot of customers here, which are obviously farmers, and with the new tax implications that are going to be brought in, a lot of them are going to be forced to sell their farms and be out of business, which will affect us as a contractor doing a lot of work for farmers, so it'll have an effect on our income and our business. So we're basically here supporting the people that support us, basically.
Dan Coles, also from Bleedon, warned that this is just the beginning.
I'd like to think with a few more of these and a bit more ruthless activities that they will soon start to listen.
I was going to say, just how far can the farming community take it?
Actually nothing yet, to be honest. It's first of many, to be fair, but it starts mean to go on, show a little bit of willing and finish with a bang, I suppose.
So what's next for the farming community? Many at the blockade agreed. If their voices remain unheard, the protests will escalate. Rob Coram predicted more drastic actions.
It'll escalate. It'll go to blocking roads completely rather than just having slow-moving blockades, but it'll just escalate. If they aren't willing to talk, then they've only got themselves to blame.
Farmers are determined to fight for their livelihoods and the nation's food security, as Brooks Carey put it.
I think it's time needs to back down. We need to have a serious think about what is happening, where food and how this country lives, and, you know, for instance, floods, snow, who helps the general public, and, you know, I think sometimes there's a lack of understanding in Britain of where food comes from, and, you know, because food doesn't come from Tesco's, it comes from the farm, and yeah, I feel like that needs to be spread to, you know, sort of a matter of the general public as well.
As the tractors rode out of Bridgwater on Saturday morning, the message was clear. British farmers won't back down. They're not just fighting for their farms, they're fighting for the nation's future.